All right, from time to time, people have asked me about my desoldering tool. So this is a HAKKO, I think it's an FR300. I don't think they make this one anymore. I think the FR301 has replaced this one. I'm not sure what the difference is. They look pretty much the same to me, but I don't know. Haven't owned one of the other ones. So first and foremost, these things are expensive. I paid like $300 for this thing, which was just a ton of money. And so, yeah, you just, if you can't afford one, just, solder suckers work just fine, which I lived with for decades. But I finally got around to getting one of these, and I really, really do like it, but you really have to justify it. I mean, it's a lot of money. But let me kind of go through it, and then I built something for it yesterday that I wanted to show off. So this is what you get in the kit. You get the solder sucker. Now, it's a heated tip, and then there's a vacuum pump in here, and it sucks air in through a little hole here, and so when you push the button, it goes and it shoots the solder into this little compartment, and this little compartment then holds the solder that comes out. And in fact, let me bang on it a bit. There we go. So here's a big blob of solder that was stuck inside this thing. And so, yeah, so you have to clean this out every once in a while. And in the bottom of this thing is a little filter so that it filters the air as it sucks through it. And this is not like cotton or anything, because that would catch on fire. It's a spun ceramic, so I got a box of replacement filters, so you can replace these once in a while. Okay, so it does need some maintenance, and then that just goes together like that. Now, so you do need to clean this out once in a while, and then once in a while the tips will clog up, okay? So if the iron is hot, you can get these wires that you can shove up the little nozzle here and try to clear out the solder that way, okay? And it comes with one size nozzle, and it comes with one size cleaner, but I bought a set of cleaners, so these are different diameters, okay, for different size nozzles. You can get different size nozzles. So I bought a kit of different things here. Now, what is this thing? Well, when you put this thing away, it's hot, maybe, and so when you put it in here, it just keeps you from melting your plastic case. Otherwise, this thing doesn't do anything at all. It does come with a stand, which I've never used, but you put that on your workbench, and then this thing kind of like sits on it like that and holds it off your workbench. I don't find that very useful, but it does come with that. Now I've forgotten where it stores. Oh well, I'll figure it out. And so now it's going to bug me where this thing stores. Anyway, let's see what else. Oh, so when you're going to change the tips, how do you change the tips? Well, you have to unscrew this thing, and it can be blistering hot. So it comes with this insulated tool, and you shove this in here, and then you go to a little quarter twist, and then this thing will come off, and then the tip will come off. So this is the little tip, okay? And this is the heating element, and you can get different size tips. They have different size diameters. This is a big diameter. I think this is 1.8 millimeters, and these are standard. They're like one millimeter. Okay, and then you can put this back on, and you can put that back on. And if you're really, really clever, you can do that while it's all hot. I've done it before. It's a bit tricky, but you can do it. Okay. So that's what that is. That's what this weird thing is. And so what else do you need to know? Like I said, I bought some extra tips. So yeah, it's an investment of money for sure. Oh, so if your clog is even worse than just poking a little thing up in there, sometimes this thing can get clogged up. So it comes with this tool. This is part of the kit you get. It comes with this tool, and it's kind of a reamer tool. And you can stick this in here and ream it. And you shouldn't do it cold. It's cold right now, and so I can feel there's some junk in there. But you do it while it's hot, and then you kind of ream this thing in and out and get all the junk get all the junk out and get it all nice and clean. Yeah, I probably should clean this thing. Oops. Put the tip on first, and then you put this on. And the tips, make sure you get the right tips because they make several different tools and the tips are not interchangeable. So make sure you get the right tips for the soldering iron you've got. All right, what else can I talk about this thing? The on-off button is in the back, and there's a light here, and when you turn this thing on, the light turns on, and then when it gets up to temperature, the light turns off. So when it's super, super hot, there's no light. So that's kind of a weird safety thing. And then there's a little vacuum adjust back here, and then there's a temperature adjust here. You can adjust it between 350 and 500 C. Anyway, yeah, that's my desoldering tool. Now, what did I build for it yesterday? Something I've been wanting for a long time. And I wrestled with a couple designs, and that is, this thing's kind of slippery and kind of can get away from you. I kind of balance it in a particular location on something, and I just wanted a nice holder. Now, you know, solder holders are usually like a hole, and you shove it in this hole, and then this big, huge weight is hanging off this little thin tip. I just didn't like the way that their holder was made, and it didn't make any sense to me. And even the ones that are made for this, people complain about them. They say they're not very stable. Your iron can tip over. So I wanted a super stable base, and I wanted something that was really, really easy to use. And so I made this yesterday. Okay. And this thing just pops on like that, and you're done. I mean, super, super simple. So it's like a thing where, and I'm holding right here, so this is all cold. This is plastic, and so this thing never feels any heat. The heat is just kind of dangling over here, and this goes right on my bench, and I can use it, and I can put it right back, so my hand position doesn't have to change. Like if it's laid down, it's kind of hard to pick up. So it's super, super easy, very, very solid, very, very stable. Anyway, so I wanted to share that, and I know people are going to want to know, well, what are the dimensions if I want to build one? So let me zoom down here. All right, here you go. I just took some dimensions off this thing. You should probably measure yours and make sure it fits and everything, but these are kind of rough dimensions. Here's a slot here, and there's an angle to it, so when you put the iron in, it's kind of at an angle. And I just made this out of high density polyethylene. You make it out of anything, make it out of wood, make it out of anything really. And it ends up looking something like that. And then what I did on mine was I just tapped 2 holes in the bottom and have countersunk screws on the bottom. And then I just have a plate. I didn't measure the plate. So the plate's about 5.5 by 4. Okay, doesn't really matter. 1/8 of an inch thick. I just found some scrap. So this is all just made out of scrap, and yeah, that's what I came up with. And yeah, maybe you'll want to build one. See how it works for you.